Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've got a buyer's guide for you today. This is my E46 M3, you might have seen it on a previous video. So these cars, they're starting to get really popular, they're starting to go up in money as well, so really important few things that you need to look out for. I thought I'd go over them with you. So we'll start with the engine first, yeah? So these are actually pretty reliable. It's called an S54 B32 engine, and the thing that they're known for back in the day is rod bearings would go. There's no real way of actually telling what the issue is without doing an oil test, but I would imagine by now that most of the cars are enthusiast hands, so they will be looked after. So if the rod bearings haven't been done or you don't have proof of it, is you know, probably best to get it done once you actually get the car. And then after that, you need to really make sure you always fully warm it up before revving it or putting your foot down. So obviously, usual things you want to check: make sure there's no mayonnaise style substance, anything like that, no oil or water mixing. The head gaskets, when they go on these, it's not your traditional warning signs. So even if it's misfiring, it can be head gasket, or you hear a pinking sound. It's because between the 6 cylinders, the space is just so thin, there's very little head gasket there from new anyway. And as the cars get older and it's gone through so many heat cycles, that can obviously be an issue. This particular car is an SMG, so you want to really make sure you check this fluid level. If for whatever reason it is low, it means you've got an issue, yeah? So it's a seal system, it shouldn't be going down, and normally just, it's probably a bit hard to see, but around the back here you've got like a little neck at the bottom, and if that's wet, that's where it'll be leaking from. It's quite common. And you've got an SMG pump. The actual gearbox is exactly the same as a manual anyway, so a lot of people do buy these, do convert them. Right now the cheapest way to get into an E46 M3 is something like this, an SMG convertible. Now as cars are getting older, you want to make sure everything's original. Like I've put this induction kit on mine, I have kept everything original, so you want to try and buy a car as original as possible. Even the engine cover at the bottom, that can get lost, and then, you know, they're easy to find at the moment, but in a few years they won't be, yeah? You want to really start looking at, like you would for any other car, around the bodywork as well. So E46s, not just the M3s, they're notorious that they start rusting on the front wings. This one's a really clean example, and at the back here as well. So you want to start really making sure that the one you've got is solid. Ideally you'd get it up on the ramp as well, yeah? I haven't got access to a ramp today. So one of the other areas where they really rust is along this boot lid here and along here, these trim panels. So really want to look at these carefully and see where, you know, that there isn't any rust there. Otherwise it's going to get expensive. There's little things that, you know, that you can refresh, like the M badge here. Mine's slightly faded here. It's this one, I've got my original wheels. These are not the original ones, I've got my original ones still. Those are polished, and you want to make sure that they're in good condition, yeah, because they're going to start getting hard to find. So I'm going to give you an example on these wheels. These are not genuine original M3 alloys, but they do have the same polish finish. And if you're buying another car, a really good way to check is this little M badge just here. If you can see that, that's nicely recessed, it's flush. Now as people get the alloy wheels refurbished, they keep diamond cutting them. When this badge sticks out, you know that it's been cut once or twice, and after twice you don't really want to go there, because it will start weakening the wheel, it will start fracturing easily as well. They also do bubble. This side actually looks good. Let's go around to the other side, the driver's side mirror. Yeah, if you look closely here, it started to bubble there as well. Very common on the E46, yeah? Now, on the inside, an area where they do go is definitely this bolster here. You can see from the shape of it, this one's not too bad at all. And, you know, by now, a lot of these cars are quite old. You are going to get that wear and tear there. And on top of the steering wheel, see, mine's got some wear on it here as well. So, the SMG steering wheel has got these paddles on it. These are not genuine original ones. The original ones are a lot smaller, which I've kept. Now when it comes to, I know it sounds really simple, yeah, but the first thing you want to do is make sure there's no warning lights on the dash. So if you come over here, you can see once I fire this up, this should be fine. On the E46s, it's very common that the oil light comes on, so if it does, don't worry too much. It's very common. It's just a sensor, it's not an issue with the oil itself, yeah? But obviously you want to check the level and things. So this being an SMG, obviously you want to take it for a test drive. Look, you can see what gear it's in neutral here. There's a little yellow light here. The cog, yellow cog comes on, and that is an issue because that, obviously you want to have a really good diagnostic, yeah? You want to like really use something like IMPA, which is quite old now. Not many people use it, but for an E46 M3, that is a wicked like tool. You know, you will get far with that tool. So obviously knock it to the right. First gear's there. It should go up to second as well. It won't go beyond that in terms of when you're standstill. So when you're on the move, you want to just make sure that obviously all the gears, there's no issue. It should blip the throttle as well. Once I get it out of here, we'll go for a drive. I'll do a separate video when we drive this, and you'll see what I mean about blipping the throttle. You should do it automatically on the SMG. And really, generally, I mean, buy as original as you can. I've changed the head unit here, so it's got Android head unit, but it does look like an OEM finish. And these kind of things are getting hard to find now, like in terms of this interior bit here. The chrome piece is missing. And as the cars get older, you know, you are starting to see the issues. There's no issue with like dash cracking or anything like that. It's not really reached that age yet. But really, you want to buy in condition. I don't think the mileage is as important. Obviously, to the value of the car, the mileage is important. But in terms of driving and maintenance, I would much rather buy one that's got much higher mileage and it's been really well looked after, and you can see that. So this one's actually got decent miles, 82,000 on it. The other thing to watch out for on the E46 M3s, this is true of the M5 of this era as well, the E39. This mirror has got a gel coating behind it, and on a really hot day you want to make sure you leave the windows open a little bit or get some air circulation, because if this can burst, right, and the liquid on there falls straight here, and it can damage all of this. So that's really common as well. I think obviously we're talking about things that would happen normally when you daily drive it, and a lot of people don't daily drive these anymore. It's coming more of you know, a leisure kind of weekend car now. This one being a convertible, you want to obviously make sure the roof goes up and down properly. If there's any issues there, they're quite simple to sort out. They're pretty reliable, to be honest. And like I said at the start of the video, really you need a ramp. You want to be checking for rust underneath. One of the things that can go on this car, I've just changed the tailpipes for Euro tailpipes, but the exhaust is actually stock. And the exhaust brackets are notorious to rust, and taking them off, they'll just probably snap off. So a lot of these cars have had aftermarket exhaust. And of course the biggest thing that E46 M3 is known for is the subframe. It can crack, so you definitely want to get up there and have a little look. Many cars have had plates welded on. There's kits you can buy. So I think, to be honest, buying one now, most of them will be done, or because if it was going to crack, it would have done by now. And it is literally a case of when, not if. So definitely want to make sure the car that you're buying has been strengthened, or just be aware of the cost. You're probably talking around £500–600 at least to get that sorted. But it's definitely worth doing, because obviously a small factor, it can just escalate. Okay. Guys, my final bit of advice is try and buy the best car you can, yeah? If you're buying it for kind of driving purposes and you really enjoy the drive, then definitely get a manual coupe or an SMG coupe. I actually really like the SMG. I know a lot of people don't like it. The convertible is a little bit floppy. It does move around a little bit. It's not as rigid. But this is the cheapest way to get into E46 M3. But if you've got the money, buy a coupe. It will drive better, it'll hold its money better, and especially a manual. And you know, the best ones are obviously the CSL. They've gone for ridiculous money now. But even a normal coupe without a sunroof is really good as a base. A lot of these cars have been used for track cars as well. Now we're going to probably see a lot of them being returned back to the road now as well. So thanks for watching the video. If you enjoy it, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you share this video with your friends and family, and put any comments in the section below, and I'll see you in the next video.